What's up, everyone? You are checking out the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast.
He's your host, the hot commodity.
And that's the co-host, Smoking Ant B.
And I'm about to smoke.
Yes. And today we're covering WWE Monday Night Raw from October 6, 2025, live in Dallas, Texas. This is the last Raw before we have WWE Crown Jewel and WWE heads down to Perth, Australia. And kicking off Raw, Roman Reigns comes out, but he gets immediately interrupted by Bronson Reed and Paul Heyman.
Boo.
And Paul goes on to tell Roman, I don't know who's been wise-manning you since you broke my heart. You fear Bronson Reed. Not once in your life did you ever leave on a stretcher. Reed then goes on to say, Roman, listen to me. Your father, Sika, your uncle never stretchered out of an arena. How do you think they feel seeing that happen to you? Reigns says, let's do this now. No matter where this happens, I'll always be your tribal chief. And then Paul makes the challenge for Crown Jewel, Bronson Reed versus Roman Reigns in an Australian street fight. Roman ends up calling Bronson Reed a bitch. The two-men brawl. Roman hits Bronson Reed with a Superman punch, and they get separated. But this Saturday, we're going to get an Australian street fight, and that includes boomerangs and fucking, what do they call them, kangaroos. And
Boomerangs are an Australian thing?
I thought they were, maybe New Zealand.
I don't know.
Yeah, those are.
Alexa, where are boomerangs from?
Here is an answer from an Alexa Answers contributor that I translated. The boomerang comes from Australia.
Yeah, Australia.
Oh,
It is a traditional
Alexa,
Australian-
stop. I didn't disbelieve you. I just didn't know.
So now that was cleared up, and now that you'll believe me with everything else, hopefully going forward, what did you think of this match being set
Well,
up?
we
An
just saw
Australian
this
street
match
fight?
at the last pay-per-view not too long ago.
They didn't have a street fight though.
No. I'm excited for it, but Roman won the last one, but then he got his ass kicked. So I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty sure Roman's probably going to win again, but there's always the chance of the Vision getting involved. So I don't know, but I'm kind of excited for it. I think it'll be good. The Australian crowd's rowdy, and they're going to be using weapons. People are going to be excited, so it'll be good.
Yeah, and Reed has the home field advantage, and he's usually taking everyone out. So this is going to be a big challenge for Roman, but I think Roman's going to win here.
And it'll be interesting because they're very behind their own, but this is the OTC, so I don't know.
We'll see what happens. We see Kairi Sane and Asuka backstage. Kairi takes on Iyo Sky later, and she doesn't want to fight Iyo, so Asuka slaps her and tells her that she better win tonight. Asuka's been controlling Kairi lately. We'll cover that.
Kairi!
Exactly. We have WWE Women's Intercontinental Champion, the man Becky Lynch, taking on Maxxine Dupri in a non-title match here. Becky lands a Bex floater to Maxxine into the railing. Maxxine lands a sit-out powerbomb to Becky, and then Becky slams Maxxine into the announce desk, and then Becky gets in the ref's face. She stands on the announce desk. Maxxine rolls back into the ring. Referee counts out Becky Lynch. Maxxine Dupri defeats the Women's Intercontinental Champion by countout. Maxxine looked really, really good here, better than she's normally looked. She had a fisherman suplex. Becky made her look good, and we're probably going to see these ladies fight some more because Becky's not going to be happy.
They're going to say that she won against her, so she's going to be the number one contender, which is ridiculous because she's looking good, but she's not ready for Becky Lynch.
Wow.
So.
She held her own, though, surprisingly. She did better than she's done before, so she's definitely improved. But,
yeah, definitely.
Becky's been sort of thrown off her rocker since AJ Lee came back, and I think we're starting to see that take effect.
Yeah.
We see Roman Reigns backstage with the Usos. Roman says, I don't need any help from you guys. He tells Jay that he needs to focus on getting back the spotlight. CM Punk's got a mic on the top of the hour. How come Jey Uso doesn't get a moment to talk? And then Jay leaves, and then Roman talks to Jimmy. He's like, I've heard what you've said. What's wrong with me giving Jey Uso advice? So he's getting in Jimmy's head. He's telling Jay, you need the spotlight. Jimmy's in the background. He doesn't trust Roman, but Roman's questioning him like, why don't you trust me?
Yeah, and this is a little monotonous. Like, I feel like we've seen this kind of stuff from the Bloodline before, so I don't know.
Roman never technically turned babyface. Like he just lost, then he came back, and So technically, like, Roman's never said, I'm a good guy, I'm going to protect everybody. He's always been the tribal chief.
Right.
We just, as fans, have come to respect him. So it's like, he can still be an asshole bad guy. We've been rooting for him.
Yeah.
Next, we see Roxanne Perez with Raquel Rodriguez. She defeats Lyra Valkyria, who has Bayley in her corner. Raquel attacks Bayley on the floor, and then Roxanne lands a tornado DDT to Lyra on the floor, and then a pop rocks. Roxanne Perez gets the victory over Lyra after Bayley grabs Lyra and says, "We got to get them." And we then see Lyra and Bayley attack Roxanne and Raquel backstage. And we're seeing Bayley kind of turn Lyra into not a monster, but Lyra's not someone who attacks from backstage.
Yeah.
So what do you think of that?
Yeah, I was very surprised about that. And I'm wondering if we're going to see a little swerve in the storyline and she's going to kind of drag Lyra into her web of craziness.
Could be. I mean, she's trying to get in her head, so we'll see what happens. CM Punk comes out and he says, after Crown Jewel, I want a shot at the title that I never lost. And that's when LA Knight comes out. LA calls CM Punk a trash champion. He says, you were champion for 5 minutes, and at SummerSlam, Seth Rollins pinned you. At Clash, Seth Rollins pinned you. Seth has never pinned me before. And then Punk says, this is the same guy who's never, ever been a WWE champion before.
He's also the last one who's pinned Seth Rollins.
And that's what LA Knight goes on to say. I'm the last one to pin Seth, and I'll be the next WWE World Champion. Jey Uso then comes out, and Jey says, I'm the next champion. That's when LA Knight starts to trash the Usos. Jimmy Uso comes out and super kicks LA Knight. And then CM Punk says, you should focus on being a team, not little Roman. And that's when Jey gets in CM Punk's face. Oh, I'm sorry. I messed up earlier. Jey super kicks LA Knight. And then Jimmy Uso comes down and super kicks CM Punk. And we have a tag match made. CM Punk and LA Knight against the Usos later on. What did you think of this here? I mean, LA Knight's never been champion. CM Punk's made some good points, but...
Well, I actually said to you during this broadcast that, they need to make LA Knight a champion or it's just going to become a joke. He's never done anything. He's been in 5 Money in the Banks, never won. It's just, but they kind of keep him up there, and it's just how long can you do that and let him lose every time?
I get it. He's not really undeniable if he keeps losing. Moving on, we have Iyo Sky taking on Kairi Sane with Asuka, and Rhea Ripley's in Australia, so Io's on her own here. Kairi gets the win after she rolls up Iyo, and Asuka holds on to Kairi's arms to give her leverage. After the match, Asuka attacks Iyo, holding Iyo for Kairi to land an insane elbow. And at Crown Jewel, we're going to see the Kabuki Warriors against Iyo Sky and Rhea Ripley. What do you think of this? I mean, it's been weeks that Asuka's turned on Iyo. Kairi is working with Asuka but doesn't want to. What do you think is going to happen at Crown Jewel?
I think, definitely it's going to be the feel-good moment of the show. And Rhea Ripley is going to obviously win with Iyo in her hometown, for sure.
Okay. I like what we're seeing here, though. I like that Asuka's being a big heel, and it's a lot of good stuff that we're seeing on Raw with this new attitude from Asuka. We see Seth Rollins talking to Paul Heyman backstage, and he asks Paul what happens if Seth loses to Cody Rhodes at Crown Jewel. And Paul says, I'm your secret weapon. And he's like, I want an honest answer. What's going to happen between us? And Paul says, if you lose at Crown Jewel, at some point I'd have to ask myself why I picked you over Roman Reigns. So Paul's getting in Seth's head a little bit. He's making him think that he's not as good as Roman. And right now Seth doesn't need that because he's already going crazy. Cody has the advantage over him. But what did you think of this little tidbit back here?
Yeah, well, it makes me kind of wonder. I love Seth Rollins, but he's, and he's great. But Roman was unbeatable for 3 years. And, Seth loses all the time. And it makes you wonder, why did Paul Heyman pick him over him? Yeah, there was the whole CM Punk storyline and everything with that. But, I don't know. Something's going to happen. Somebody's turning on somebody sooner or later. So, they're all so evil that they have no choice. So,
Well, the Usos are arguing backstage with Roman. Jimmy tells Roman that Jey Uso is nothing like Roman, and Roman says, when your brother was the champion, he became more like me and less like you. If you want to help him, get out of his way." So again, Roman trying to, I don't know if he wants to break up the Usos, but he wants Jey to be a champion, and he doesn't think Jimmy can do it, and that's going to cause a serious issue between the Usos because, how can one guy support one brother and not the other? And that's what's happening here. And I think that's going to crumble pretty soon.
Yeah.
We then have...
He's going to have to pick Roman or his brother.
Yes. AJ Styles, Dragon Lee, and Penta, they defeat the Judgment Day after Rusev comes out and distracts Dominic Mysterio. Penta accidentally kicks Rusev, though, but AJ hits his Styles Clash to JD McDonough. Styles, Lee, and Penta get the win. After AJ Styles grabs the mic and says at Crown Jewel he's going to beat up John Cena. So Rusev is now going to have issues with Penta because Penta kicked him, but he still has issues with Dominic. He wants to be the Intercontinental Champion. We've got John Cena and AJ Styles for the last time at Crown Jewel. What do you think?
Well, first of all, with Dominic and Rusev is just another way to show Dom smarts. You have this, he's going to go after him. He's this huge, crazy, strong guy. And Dominic's going to keep beating him. They're not going to make him the Intercontinental Champion right now. And it's just going to show that Dom can overcome
adversity.
These big guys, even though he's not that strong and powerful. The AJ Styles and Cena, I don't know. I mean, I guess because they are who they are, it is the phenomenal AJ Styles and it is John Cena. I guess they can do this, but they better give us a really good match.
They're not going to top the matches they've had before because their matches they've had before were great, and now they're like a lot older.
And they're too old. But
and those matches were like 6-7 years ago at this point, so it's like we'll have to see.
I mean, they can... Honestly, Cena's been doing some good stuff. He's been doing different moves. And AJ's still got it. So, it's going to be good. I just hope... It better be really good. That's all I have to say. It better be good.
All right, our main event, we see LA Knight and CM Punk defeat the Usos after CM Punk hits Jey Uso to go to sleep. LA Knight tags himself in, though, and gets the pinfall on Jey, and that's going to cause some issues between Punk and LA Knight because Punk doesn't like to share the spotlight, and neither does LA Knight.
Yeah.
What do you think we're going to get with this storyline, though? What do you think is coming?
I think we're going to get a triple threat.
Between who?
Punk,
LA Knight,
and Uso.
But why? And why?
Because
and what do you think the Usos are going to play?
All three of them think they're the number one contender. LA Knight because he last pinned Seth. CM Punk because he was the champion before Seth, and LA Knight and then
Jey Uso.
Jey Uso because he never got his rematch.
Well, I don't really care about them, to be honest. I'm looking more for the War Games. I'm looking ahead towards WrestleMania. Crown Jewel is tomorrow night. Well, it's tomorrow morning.
And then
for us on the East Coast.
War Games will be the next.
War Games.
So maybe instead of seeing them against each other, we're going to see them form as a team.
Maybe, but I don't know how well the Usos are going to work together. We've covered all of this episode of Raw. We have Attitude Years dropping. We're on the road to No Way Out 2001. We have Crown Jewel this weekend, which we cover.
Real quick, remember the last couple War Games, CM Punk had to work with Roman Reigns. They always do that. These people that can't work together, and they put them together.
But are they going to want to do that again?
Yeah, I don't know.
We'll have to wait and see.
Come on, Paul. You can do better.
Paul Levesque, yeah. Well, I mean, he chose Stephanie over China, and I don't know how better that's doing. I mean, at least Stephanie's still around. Rest in peace, China. But, I wouldn't want to be married to Stephanie, who's going to the Hall of Fame. And until she reaches the Hall of Fame, it's all going to be about her in that house, just so you know.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we've covered all of Raw. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think of this episode. What are your picks for Crown Jewel? Subscribe, like, and hit that notification bell.
Leave it in the comments.
Leave it in the comments. And until next time, stay safe and stay uncensored.